the better people, okay? The better people on the team here because of all the learning and coaching and support you're getting. So what I want to handle here is, as much as I appreciate your guys' effort, I know you guys can do better, because what's so cool is this: Isaiah and Carmen instantly sell an extra $1,000, instantly make an extra $300 for the same effort by raising your average order. Olivia, Jordan, you guys instantly like triple your orders. And that's not your sales. That's not including by following some basics and doing a couple of things right that are going to increase your average selling ratio and reduce your cancellation rates. Okay. So again, this is great, but what I want to challenge you for, and I want to ask you the question: did you show up to this push to play small? Did you show up to be weak? You know, in what ways are you pushing yourself throughout this push? You know, the top rep, and again, take this right away. I told you I was going to be tough on you, but you know, great job, Sammy and Katie. Awesome job leading the way with 16 and 15 orders respectively. That's like 2 orders a day. So that means in a push, as we are getting after it, getting 2 orders a day. So what I want to challenge you is what is a good amount of orders per day? You know, how many orders could you get? And, you know, if you're not willing to challenge yourself now, good luck with the rest of life. You know, it's all about momentum. And that's why your smallest week of the push was last week, because you're building momentum in the hang things. You're having your managers go, ooh, let's adjust a couple of these things. Now, I role played with a few of you here yesterday. There's a few little tweaks that you guys can really change to make your recommendation approach better, to make your calling script better, to make your average order better, to make all of that better. Okay. And so just be aware, like, you know, you'll see on the newsletter tomorrow night at the team meeting, like there's going to be like tons of reps with 20 and 30 orders, tons. So again, great job. Don't feel bad. But what's great is you're already building momentum and already having big weeks. Just wait till you flip the switch, and just wait till you believe more, and just wait till you stop hoping and you start expecting big results. The second week is always bigger, always. This could be your signature week. This could be the best week of your career. So Katie, I think best week of your career, I think this last week, amazing job. Congratulations. You know, you made a lot of money. You made, I don't know, 1,500. Sammy is super impressive, hitting 20K and now at 25,000. Amazing job, almost at 30K. Both of you on pace with Carmen to be at your to be in All-American. But you know, amazing job, Sammy. An 8K week. That is phenomenal. That's great, but that's capable for all of you. And Sammy, double digits this following week. 10K for sure. So you know, what would happen if you were wildly successful this week? What does that week look like? You know, what I want you to do is I want you to start writing. So the journal exercise for today that I'm going to walk you through is, what does your best week ever look like? I don't think it looks like 1 order a day. I don't think it looks like 2K in sales. I don't think it looks like hoping you're going to do well. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on some brain food playlist. Love it. And I'm going to walk you through an exercise here that we're just going to brainstorm of what does it look like? What are you doing in your wildly successful week? All right. So I want you to start journaling, writing it in your Growth Alliance journal right now. All right. I'm going to walk you through a few examples of what could be a part of your most successful week. Okay. So first I'll write down, what does it look like? How many orders do you have? So that's a big thing to write down. How many orders do you have in your wildly successful week? What's good? What's possible? You could get in 9 demos in a day, 8 demos in a day. How many sales is in a good day for you? All right. How much CPO is in a day for you? What do you believe is possible for your biggest day ever? It's going to happen this week. So what does that look like? As a reminder, managers, you're writing this down as well for you in your office. So what does a wildly successful office week look like? Forgot to mention that. All right. So in your wildly successful week this week, visualizing this, thinking about it, what is your CPO at the end of the week? How big is it? How many orders do you have? How many recommendations are you getting per appointment? What's your record for recommendations? How big is that on your wildly successful week this week? What are you doing personally to have the energy and the belief and the excitement for your push, right? So what are you doing that you haven't been that's going to help give you your wildly successful week? How hard are you working? How are you pushing yourself? How are you having fun? In a wildly successful week, you have fun. You challenge yourself, and it is a game. You gamify it. It should not be something stressful. It should not be something that you're worried about or have anxiety about. It is fun. I was talking to one of you yesterday about your goal, and you're so anxious and worried about it. No. Have fun. Enjoy it, right? You shoot for it. You be your best self, and you see if you hit it. Right. What kind of attitudes do you have in your wildly successful week? What's going through your mind? What are you believing? What do you believe your average order should be? If our average order is $350, what do you think yours should be as a top achiever who's in the top 20% of our division, who's really good at the job, who's already at 6,000 or 10,000 or 25,000? What should your average order be? Okay, keep writing, a couple minutes here. How are you winning each day? Right? What if you're having a wildly successful week? I'm assuming you're doing some things that make you a little uncomfortable. I'm assuming you're getting, how many Facebook posts per day are you having customers post? Or how many people on social media are you finally reaching out to for a parent's number? How many calls are you making daily? How many times you're doing 5 before and 5 after? Right? So what are some of those basics that you've been told but maybe not doing yet? Right? How close are you to the script on your recommendation approach and the phone approach in the demo? Right? How confident and fun are you on the phone? How are you firming up every single demo? How are you asking for the wife on every demo? How are you making sure you're trying to get as many couples together as possible? In a wildly successful week, you put yourself in a position to have a wildly successful week, which won't happen by half-assing a phone approach and showing to husbands, right? It's not going to work. You got to set yourself up for success by doing the basics and believing in yourself and thinking big. So wildly successful week you are about to have. Okay. So, how we doing? We done? Finishing up? Cool, I'll give you guys another few seconds here. All right. So I want you guys to believe in yourself again. And I want you guys to dream about what's possible. And, I don't want you to play small. I don't want you to play safe. I don't want you to play scared. I want you to think abundantly. And I want you to think about what is your wildly successful week. So, let's share. Let's go around here and let's share here. Why do you think you would be wildly successful this week? What are you doing? What's different? It'd be great to hear from everyone a few things that are going to make this week wildly successful. And how does it look? So, thank you for those of you who've been coachable on the tips we've been giving you, your managers have with your approaches. And some of you are like a little tweak off, right? So Tony Robbins' video a couple days ago on being like 2 millimeters off is the difference between being super successful and not at all. And so some of you are like literally like 2 millimeters off, literally like 2 sentences off, literally, just a couple things off from having a wildly successful week this week. And, are you believing in Cutco kitchens? All you need is one. All you need is one during this push. It takes you from a homemaker to a Cutco kitchen. Adds an extra 3,000 or 4,000 CPO, right? So, are you selling ultimate sets? Are you promoting cookware and signature sets, right? Are you pushing yourself? Are you ready to start playing big? And so you are the chokehold to your own business. We talked about this earlier, that your success in life, in this push, in this job, is 80% psychology, 20% skill. Okay. And, I want to remind you too, that when you work really hard, you are going to see great results. And so I want to play a video here by Tony Robbins. It's a 10-minute video on basically raising your standards and changing your rituals, which will really help you throughout the push here. So I want you to take notes in this, then we will discuss it, and then we'll hop on the phone. So here is Tony Robbins, one of my faves, guru of success. Okay, where are we at? And here is this video.
That if you start to shift it, everything else will shift in your life as well. Some people, by the way, have to have more than enough money to do what they want, when they want, where they want, with whomever they want, contribute the way they want. And if that's their must, they find a way. I know that sounds overly simplistic, but it's true. Somebody once said you could take all the money in the world out of the hands of everybody, out of all the wealthy people in the world who are really successful, give it to other people. It wouldn't take too long. Those people would have it back in their hands. It's not because they're manipulative. It's because they have a standard. Some are manipulative, don't get me wrong, but they got a standard of what they're going to find a way to make happen. I'm just simply saying to you, take those 3 magic words and live them. Raise your standard. And if you really want to do it, then I'll tell you the most important secret. Have you ever done this? Have you ever told yourself you're raising your standard? Okay, I'm going to go make this happen. I'm going to go make this much money. I'm going to transform my kids. I'm going to create the ultimate relationship of my life. I'm going to transform my body, whatever it is. And then you don't have strong enough reasons and you don't use it. You don't follow through. It's because you didn't back up your standards with what makes those standards real, and that's rituals. Rituals are where the power is. Whenever we do our Robbins results coaching, we say Robbins equals results, the way we get results with people, it's the same way if you listen to my Ultimate Edge program, or back in the old days, Personal Power, or if you went to one of my seminars. You know what I do is I take these huge challenges you got and we break them down into little bite-sized steps. Little things you do each day that after you do them, you get so much momentum that it's easy to succeed. You're not overwhelmed. You have these victory day after day after day on little things. If you went through Ultimate Edge, I'm sure you learned about the hour of power, or the 15 minutes to be able to be fulfilled, or 30 minutes to thrive, where you literally just condition your body and emotion with a couple little rituals. So it doesn't matter what's going on in your world, you feel that strength, and it's not fake, it's not some pump up, it's coming from inside you, and it works. Rituals define us. See, all the results in your life are coming from your rituals. They start with a standard and then have rituals that follow it up. Like, for example, if you are where you want to be physically, you have very different rituals than if you're not where you want to be physically. If you're overweight, you and I both know you got a different ritual than if you're physically fit. Completely different. You get up in the morning, what's the first thing you do if you're fit? Your shoes are there, you roll over, doesn't matter how you feel, you put on your shoes, you lace them, you start walking, or whatever that ritual is. If you're overweight, you roll over and you have a very different ritual. You might roll over several times to turn the alarm clock off. You go in and get your mocha, smocha, whatever, special coffee. You stop by at Starbucks, whatever the case may be. You have your nice sugar muffin. It's supposed to be really nice for you. Whatever you do, it's a different ritual. If you have a great, passionate relationship, you have very different rituals in how you come home than if you have a lousy relationship. When you come home and the first thing you do is you're tweeting somebody, or you're emailing, or flipping on the news, or you don't even come home. What are the rituals? Whenever I study people that are successful, what I look for is what's the standard they hold themselves to, and then what are all those little rituals that add up? Because think about it. Success and failure are not giant events. They don't just show up. You don't just suddenly become successful or suddenly have this cataclysmic event that makes you fail. It may look that way, but failure comes from all the little things. It's failure to make the call. It's failure to check the books. It's failure to say, I'm sorry. It's failure to push yourself to do things physically that you don't want to do. And all those little failures, day after day, come together until one day some cataclysmic event happens and you blame that. That event happened because you missed all the little stuff. Do you agree with me? And success, by the way, is not some overnight event. It's all these little things. Success is having a vision. Success is making it compelling. Success is really seeing it and feeling it every day with strong enough reasons. Success is feeling the sense that I'm here to grow and I'm here to give something to the world more than just myself. Success is caring about other people. Success is calling and saying, I love you in the middle of the day for no damn reason. Or sending a note. That'll change your relationship. Have a ritual of something funny, playful, or a surprise you do. How many relationships are dead today because they have no surprise rituals anymore? You need to have some rituals, some cool things you do that nobody else does that gives you a better life than anybody else has. All the little stuff. That's where success comes from. In business, it comes from delivering more than anybody could imagine. All those little things add up. People go, wow, that's who I want to do business with. It's true in any area of your life. So if you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you got to dig underneath and you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private. Myself and my business people say, how do you get up and speak? And you have no notes and you go for 3 days and nights and the room is like, everybody's wired and it's incredible. It's like a rock concert. How do you do that? How do you have that confidence? Oh, it's not confidence, it's experience now. But I did so much behind the scenes and I still do to make things right. How many people would know that since the time I was 17 years old, before I walk out on stage, still do to this day, wouldn't need to do it, but I still do it, I never walk out there without being in an absolute peak state of mind. There are days my back is hurting, my throat was hurting, or I may have had a challenge, or my father passed away, and I've still got to deliver for these people because my standard is give my all every time. Every event has to be better. Talk to anybody who's been to our events for 5, 10 years, some of our trainers, and I'll say, I don't know how he does it. He always finds a way to make it better. That's not an ego thing. That's a standard in me. I have to find the way. And my ritual, though, is I prepare, I think, I gather new information, I figure out how to put something across better. What do people need? I spend time with our customers. I see what's going on. And before I get on stage each time, I have this little ritual to put myself in a state of mind. And I did it starting like 17 years old. I started doing it. I'd say, I now command my subconscious mind. And I say this out loud several times, this little phrase, set of phrases, as an incantation to kind of condition my mind and body. And I'd say, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me in helping as many people as possible today by giving me the strength and the emotion and the humor and the brevity, whatever it takes to show this person and help this person change their life now. And I started that with a person when I worked with people one-on-one, and I would do that for 45 minutes driving in my Volkswagen to go serve and coach somebody for the first time. Now I don't say that person, I say these people, and I can go out in a room of 10,000 people and deliver for 50 hours, and I do it every time I come back on stage. It's a ritual to go into peak state. Peak states don't just show up, they don't interrupt you. Great ideas don't interrupt you, you gotta pursue them. I talked to Michael Jordan, I'll never forget, at the peak of his career, and got to watch his final game, saw him backstage and spent some time with him, and it was a pretty exciting time. He was the greatest basketball player I think that ever lived and has ever lived. And I asked him, I said, what sets you apart, Michael? What is it? And is it God-given talent, ability, skill? What is it? And he said, Tony, he said, I can shoot you straight. It's not, me trying to act humble. He goes, I have a lot of talent, a lot of God-given talent, a lot of skill. I've worked really hard. But he said, really, it's my standards. He said, every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else. I'm competing with what I'm capable of. Magic formula. Because most of us lower our standards. Why? Because who you spend time with, my friends, is who you become. One of the biggest reasons I started going to seminars when I was like 17 is I had nobody around me as a great role model. I could read about somebody, but being around people, being in that environment was very different. Finding a way to go to work with someone who lived that standard of life was very different. You get around people with low standards and you compete with it. You don't need to compete with it. It's like, okay. Remember Jerry Springer? I don't know if he's still in the air, but I remember he used to get people on the show, and I thought, where would he find these people? And why would people watch? I'll tell you why they watch. They watch these people and go, my life's so pretty darn good compared to that person. Look at them. You don't have to change your life. All you have to do is find somebody with a lower standard, and you'll feel good about yourself. But if you feel that good feeling, it's an illusion. The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about. And look at the best of the world in anything. Tiger Woods, what's his vision? To win golf tournaments? No, to be the best that ever lived. That's his goal. That's his vision. But here's what's interesting. He backs it up with rituals. If you just have a vision and you don't have the rituals, stop lying to yourself. His rituals are, he started doing things nobody did before. He went and started lifting weights. Golfers lifting weights? No way. He went out and he changed his swing when he was the best in the world because he realized in order to be the best that ever lived, he was going to have to change his swing. If you know anything about golf, you don't change your swing when you're the best. And he went and retrained himself because he has different rituals than other golfers. Now many people are modeling his rituals to get better. It's amazing. You look at somebody like Michael Phelps, the 2008 swimmer, won 7, only 2 people, I think, in history, if I remember correctly, that have gotten 7 gold medals in one session. And here's a guy, he's got number 6 under his belt, and he's exhausted, and he's going in for that final swim. I'm sure you remember. And how does the guy win? By 1/100th of a second. Do you think that was some massive skill that got him over the top? Or was it a standard that says, this is who I am? I am the champion. And no one is taking this from me. And somehow in those final milliseconds, 100th of a second, he pushed himself just beyond his competitor.
Here we go. What were some takeaways there? Some takeaways. So take a look at your notes. And why don't you type in the chat? Type in the chat, what were a couple big takeaways there? And then I'll kick us off on the phone. Okay. Yep, so starting off this call with what does your wildly successful week look like? And, based on the success last week, great job. But raising your standards takes it to the next level from what happened last week. So you have to have rituals, exactly. So that's why I talked to some of you yesterday about what are your habits and rituals that are keeping you happy and positive. Create rituals to back up your higher standards, make for yourself, great Olivia, Langston, doing rituals that no one else is doing, more successful. And those around you, right? Jordan, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to your standards of yourself. That's huge. Yeah, by the way, everyone is different. You don't want to look at someone else and be like, oh, Vern, he's so great. Oh, Vern, how did he sell 17,000 last week? Oh, Vern, $833 average order. That's awesome. Woe is me. You're like, wow, that's exciting. Well, I'm on my own race at 10K And I'm real excited to learn eventually after 9 years how Vern has gotten to that level. But right now, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to raise my standards to 10,000, which is my biggest, it's doubling my career sales. Those are my biggest weeks ever, right? So, it's important, to compare not to others, right? You want to try and beat yourself. Yep. So, right, Sam, you are capable. Change is good. All right, Jordan, don't compare yourself. Isaiah, when you create an expectation for yourself, you're more likely to succeed. Yep. Standards and expectations. Then Brett, don't miss little things. Step by step. You can't just make yourself feel better by looking at somebody whose standards are lower. Yep, exactly. So in our division, one of our rally cries is to be the standard. Be the standard. You guys are the standard for the rest of our division, okay? Culture is caught, not taught. What are they catching from you? What are they going to believe is realistic and possible by what you are doing? And so that's why I appreciate you guys being part of the Growth Alliance. That's why I appreciate you for showing up, waking up in the morning, being committed to yourself and to your goal. And so with this push, it is day 1 of week 2, day 1 of your biggest week ever. And day 1 of, as you know, for about half your push's CPO is going to come in this week. So you guys got it. You guys matter. And this phone session is going to be massively important. So it's 8:30. Let's hop on the phone for the next hour here. And then Liz will wrap it up and send you guys off. So thanks for being awesome. You guys rock. Let's have a wildly successful week. Let's hop on those phones. Let's go.